Okay, good evening everybody, welcome back to FTRL. We are here tonight for Division 2 for round 10 of the Championship in what looks to be quite a cloudy Canada. Joining me this evening as per normal is Will, or Panda as he may well be known to other people. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Hopefully my internet fares a little bit better than last week, but it went out about 5 minutes ago, so that may not be the case.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it's had its little funny 5 minutes and now you're all good to go, mate.
Yep.
So, Canada. It was quite the exciting one in Div 1. Should we expect the same tonight for Div 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good track, isn't it? You get these pretty long straight here, so it's always a good one for overtaking, so we should see a lot of overtakes tonight, I think.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed we do. We will be joined, as normal, by Joe Burns after he has finished his race, so I imagine it'll be towards the end of qualifying. But yeah, a couple of notable mentions, should I say. We have got the return of the preheated oven, so it's good to see him back after quite some time out, after having a operation on his ACL. So we wish him well in his recovery on that. It's good to see him back. Currently on board with him. I know he's been missed in the paddock. And also we also have a new driver tonight who is replacing FTRL Daddy at Red Bull, and that is CJ Payne. So be interested to see how he gets on tonight. He's a very, very nice lad, and hopefully his driving will result in a good performance this evening. So I need a 15 tonight, so we are missing a few. So hopefully that should give guys enough amount of space at the start of the race, not too congested. And yeah, we are looking to crack on with a good race this evening. What's your thoughts on Canada, Will? What sort of strategy should we imagine we'll see from people? Give us your opinion on everything.
I think I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, obviously with it not being Monday anymore, because of the week separation we've got, it's a bit harder to remember exactly what happened. But I think a couple of people started on the supers, but most went for the ultras to super softs.
Yeah. Well, all of the guys so far that have set times have done them on hyper softs. So that is Tim 12, Chicken Guy, FTRL Hammer Time, and Agent Panda. Not particularly fast times, so maybe they're just trying to bait people into thinking that they're going on the hypers, maybe. Failing that, they might just be getting a bit of a grip of the circuit. So we're going to go on board with Matt Cause, who is firmly inside this championship fight. Obviously there's 20 points between the top 5 drivers. We've got Raver's Revenge at the top. Cress is 4 points behind him. And then we've got Chicken Guy in third. Matt Cause very, very close to him. And Tim Tonnerre is the one currently outside of the promotion spots. Obviously only 4 of these 5 drivers can go up, and it's getting towards that crunch time of the season. So I think any positive result tonight by one of these guys is going to leave them in very, very good stead for promotion, as I think Matt Cause did a bit of a corner cut there, so he may have just invalidated.
Yeah, we've seen the first sort of properly quick time there from Steph, 109.3.
Yeah, 109.3. Very, very good time indeed. So I'm just going to quickly have a look at what the pole time was for Division 1. I know it was in the 108s, but I mean it was in changing conditions, to be fair.
Very true.
So I'm just double checking what that was. Pole for Division 1 was a 108.480, and that was set by Plexits on the Ultra Soft tyre. So basically a second quicker than what prototype Steph has gone on the hypers. And that causes put it P4 at the moment, but yeah, quite surprised at how many people have started on these Ultra Softs, on the Hyper Soft, sorry. I really thought people would go on the Ultras.
Yeah, I think if you choose the normal tyre strategy, then you get, if you want to start on the ultras, you get sort of hypers to burn almost.
Yeah,
but
well,
you obviously don't want to set your fastest lap with them. So.
Exactly, that's a good time from CJ. on provisional pole, 109.1. And he was saying to me before the race started that Canada's possibly one of his weakest tracks on the calendar. So if that's anything to go by, we could be looking at quite a tasty driver here.
Indeed.
I'm just on board with Tulko, and I'm really hoping that he has a cleaner race this evening. Because like I've said before many times, he knows how to drive. He just sometimes gets baited into doing the wrong thing, which I don't think is an unfair statement to make. Right, guys in the stream watching, please let us know. I think we've got 14 people at the moment, which is good to see. So let us know who you think is going to get pole and what the time will be. That's I'm quite interested to see how close people get, if anybody can make the right predictions.
We know how rapid Flexes is, so if you get anywhere near that on Ultras, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Tim Tonnerre still not set a time. Only 9 of the 15 drivers have set a time 8 minutes into qualifying at the moment, so I know we've got Pagani in the chat as he's saying that your mic sounds alright tonight so far, Will, so touch wood, that doesn't go wrong.
Yeah, we can always hope.
Yeah, right, preheated oven dives back into the pits. Tim 12 crosses the line. I think he's just starting a flying lap now. Most pole positions across both divisions of FTRL this season, Tim 12. Unfortunately not had the luck to convert those into race wins or even a title challenge. But I'm feeling like Tim's going to have a good race tonight. I don't know why. I've just got that feeling.
Here's Tim tonight. No, he's backed off. Going across the line. Still does a 109.5.
Well, Pagani said 108.6 will be pole, but he's not sure who.
So it's always very close between the two Tims in quali, especially.
Yeah.
Race pacing is a lot similar between the top 5, but
yeah,
quali's generally been between the two Tims.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Blue Flag will have a good race tonight. He's not had the best luck this season. He was quite a contender going into the season. People thought he was going to do really well. I'm thinking this is going to be a good lap from Tim. Oh, he's backed right off. Yeah, he's backed right off. That was going to be a very good lap indeed. So not too sure what he's doing there.
Just doesn't want to use the hypers in the race, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned or confused why people are opting for that strategy, but I'm going to go on board with FTRL Blue Flag as he's just coming down to start a flying lap, I believe. So the Division 2 admin. Yeah, he was a contender start this season. Where do you think he's gone wrong this year, Will? What do you think it's been? Obviously you and I have watched most of the races, but like I said, he showed some fantastic form going into the season.
Yeah, I mean he won obviously last year's championship, the Division 2 one there. But I don't know really, it seems that he hasn't quite, his race pace is up there, but in terms of his outright quality, he doesn't seem to qualify high up enough so that he could stay with the race leaders when it comes to the race.
No. This has been a good lap so far. Yeah, sorry to cut you short, but this has been a very good lap so far. Obviously Canada being my favourite circuit by quite some margin. He's hitting all of these corners right, I must say. It all comes down to this final chicane. Very easy to get. How's he going to do it? Doesn't take that too badly at all. A little bit wide on the exit, but overall this should be quite a good lap. 109.8 puts in P4. So not a bad lap from Blue Flag. Yeah. It certainly is. Pagani said damage on lap 1 and tyre temperatures have hindered Blue Flag this season, I believe. So yeah, just a little bit of bad luck like what you've had as well in Division 1. I know you won't mind me saying that. I know you had a bit of a bad run, didn't you, for 3 or 4 races?
Yeah, 3 DNFs in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly does. It can certainly happen.
There, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does. I had it not so long ago, a couple of seasons back, and I think I had something like 5 retirements on the bounce or something stupid. Or I went through this phase where I just lost my wing all the time. It just Doesn't make any sense to me. But
Oh yeah.
anyway, CJ Payne coming down to start a flying laps. I think we might as well take him on board with our latest recruit to the league. I believe Raver's Revenge said his brother Don will be watching again this evening. So if you're here, Don, make yourself known, my friend.
On the Hypers as well is CJ Payne again, so it looks like he is going to start the race
Exactly.
on the Hypers.
Well, prematurely, we've got Joe Burns just joined the lobby.
Early, very early. Must have had a shorter track.
In response to your message, no, everything is absolutely fine, mate.
Very good.
CJ Payne coming round. Ooh, a little bit poor through that middle sort of S
just
section.
109.2 on the Ultras.
Wow. I think that just shows you, like, I know obviously there's still 6 minutes left, he could have had a bit of a wobble or something, but Plexit set that time with about 7 minutes to go in qualifying on Ultra Softs, and he's did it 108.6, so he's like 6.5 tenths quicker at this stage.
Around a pretty short track as well.
Yeah, in changing conditions, it's crazy. Mr. Burns.
Hello.
Good evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. You guys?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Not bad.
Can you do your usual and just turn up a tiny bit for us?
Is that better?
That's better. Yeah, yeah. It's only because the sound of the cars can sometimes overshadow.
Yeah, it's just my mic. I was just sat too far away from it. That's all.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, hopefully, it's pretty much in your mouth. Okay, so interesting quality so far, Joe. Most of the guys setting times on hypersofts, which I didn't expect.
Well, sat there like a two-stop.
Yeah, I mean, if
Very,
they go
very risky ones.
yeah, I mean, it can be done. I believe Remco did it, or was on to do it in Div 1. I know it can be done, but you will be considerably slower. Here we go. Wow, Tim 12 has beaten Blexit's time, 108.5. Tim, that's close. That is very, very close between the two Tims.
It always is.
And we was on board with Willie Tix, he did a 108.6. So there's literally a tenth and a bit between the top three at the moment.
We should
Okay.
see Crest get up there shortly.
Yeah, I imagine we will do. City Posh Blue as well. I believe he said he's getting himself a new wheel this week. So hopefully that will...
Sarko's lost it.
Yeah, Pagani saying Agent Panda for points is going to happen, I believe. So,
Oh, you know, he's clattered the wall there as Crest.
Crest has very much clattered the wall.
You don't tend to lose too much time actually hitting the wall, but obviously if you're winning damage you do.
Well, somebody I'm expecting to go a little bit better on their final run, provided they don't invalidate, is well, two people, Chicken Guy and Raver's Revenge, and Matt Cause for that matter.
I think we'll see these guys come out on Ultra Softs and go for their flying lap shortly.
Yeah, Crest is locked
I
up.
was
Not
speaking to Ravers last night. And he's not feeling very confident about his pace around here.
No, he says that, but I remember we did an invitational event, and Ravers actually beat all of the Div 1 drivers pretty much around Canada on a 25%. I know it's a little bit different, but even so, he has got pace around here. I think a lot of it is purely just down to penalties and stuff like that as well, because it's so easy to get corner cuts. Turn 1, you can get it going into turn 3. God, pretty much half the corners on this circuit you can easily pick up a penalty.
Yeah, that pretty much characterises Canada, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Penalties.
does. Fantastic track though, I must say.
If they got rid of penalties, I'd love it.
I do find that the coding for this track's been a little bit inconsistent, because you can cut some corners, probably more than what you should, and get away with it, and in other areas you can barely cut a corner and get invalidated. So it is a bit of a strange one.
Yeah, it's It's only very, 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 very narrow margins around Canada.
Yeah, a lot of these guys now coming out to start their final couple of laps or lap of quali. Who's your money on, boys?
I don't think anyone's going to get past Tim Tonner's time, to be honest. Unless they go on a Hypers run, of course.
That's the question though, how much does pole position matter at a track like this? I know it's quite a narrow circuit with not too many overtaking spots, but the undercut's very, very powerful around here as well.
The one overtaking spot you've got is a pretty big one.
Yeah, is indeed. I'm just on board with Chicken Guy now, who's not a bad lap so far. I know he's having some wheel problems this evening, so hopefully it doesn't cause too many problems for him at the start of the race. I think it says that when he was starting a race, when he was doing some practice for it, it was not recognising him as releasing the clutch. So he may have to do like a pause start to the race.
Yeah, not great, of course, not great.
No, well, he's a bit slidey coming out that final corner. But he's coming up to the line, this can be a good time. 109.2, P6. Well, considering that's a pretty decent time, 109.2, and it's only put him in P6. Now, what would be massive?
Quicker lap.
What's that? Sorry.
Ravers is on a quicker lap. He's come up to the last chicane.
Gets it through.
108, 109.3. So he's split Chicken Guy and Crest. Now, can Matt Cause get himself ahead of that little pack? If he can get himself maybe around sort of Willie Tick, CJ, that sort of area, he's going to have a big advantage going into this race. He takes that pretty nicely. Matt Cause speeding up to the line. What's this going to be? It's going to be a 109.0. So, yeah, Matt Cause has delivered when it matters. He's got himself crucially ahead of that little chasing pack behind him of Chicken Guy, Ravers, Cress and Prototype Steph for that matter as well. The two guys ahead of him on the Hypersofts, so they're going to have to pit early. So yeah, Matt Cause is put himself in a good position here. Disappointing qualifying again from Blue Flag and Hammer Time as well.
I think that might be what's letting Blue Flag season down a little bit. It's probably.
Then again, he's starting P11. He can start on the super softs and be quicker towards the end of the race.
Very true. Very true indeed.
It all comes down to the start of the race, doesn't it? So Chicken Guy and Crest not going to be setting any more times. So yeah, the final rundown of qualifying, we've got the two Tims on the front row of the grid. Not the first time we've said that this season. Tim Tonner just
pile up on the last straight. There's actually cars in the middle of the road. Have you seen it?
No. But no, Tim Tonner taking pole just from Tim 12, Willie Tix and CJ, the debutant, on the second row. So good qualifying from those guys. Matt Cause in P5, Prototype Steph in P6, Chicken Guy in P7, Ravers in P8, and the two Ferraris of Crest and City Posh Blue round off the top 10. Then we've got Blue Flag in 11th, Toolco in 12th, Hammer Time in 13th, Preheated Oven in 14th, and Agent Panda rounds off the grid in 15th place. Plexus is in, Lennon's in. Welcome, boys. And if anybody missed the Division 1 race last night, I urge you to go back and watch that. The championship was decided, unfortunately, for Plexits and for Tico, but I mean, they put up a fantastic drive all season. And lads, just while we're waiting for this to happen, what would your verdict be on Division 1? I know it's obviously Division 2 at the moment, but obviously now that's come to its conclusion. A couple of words on Div 1 from both of you for the season.
Do you want to go first, Joe?
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I obviously joined late, but from what I saw, it was a great battle between top three. Like I say, it's a bit unfortunate we didn't get like a last race sort of shootout, but you know, the top three guys were top notch all season and they pushed each other really close, so hopefully next season is very similar, especially with some of the guys coming up from Div 2 as well. There's going to be a lot of quick guys in Div 1 next season, so yeah, hopefully it's exciting as this year, or this season should I say.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The three, very nicely put. The three drivers at the top, the three Dutchmen, very, very good, very close as well, very good racing. I think we went for a little bit of a difficult patch around sort of Singapore time, a lot of drivers coming and going around a very difficult street track, but overall I'm really happy with them because they've come through that little sticky patch and now they're driving really, really well, and all round it's gone really well, to be honest, and it's a very, very deserved title win for Dutch.
I think any of the three would have deserved it at that point.
Yeah, couldn't have put it better myself, boys. It's been a fantastic season, much like Div 2, and the good thing about Div 2 is we've still got a couple more races after this, and it looks like it's going to go down to the wire in this one, so yeah, it should be a cracker. Now I'm looking forward to this one tonight. Will, as normal, do you want to take us through the formation lap, my friend?
Yeah, just stop me if my mic starts breaking again. Hopefully it doesn't. But as I said last week, hopefully my mic is actually working this time. My internet doesn't let it down, so anyone can actually hear what I'm saying, which is pretty good. But yeah, so we've got the two teams on first and second. They've done that a fair bit this season. They're probably two of the most well-matched drivers in the competition, so I'm going to be interested to see what Tim Tonnerre can do next season. Although I think he might have to stay in Div 2 because of other reasons, which is a shame, because I think he could have done well in Div 1, but hopefully he will in the future. So then we've got the two hyper runners, Willie Tix and CJ Payne, coming in behind third and fourth. As I said, Remco did manage to do a one stop, well he would have done if he didn't get involved in a late incident, so it's possible. It's just very, very tricky on the tyre, and Remco is always good in his tyres, so we'll have to see if Willie Tix and CJ Payne can do that, or maybe try a two-stop, but that might be fairly tricky to do with the amount of potential traffic that you could get. Then got some of the title contenders, Matt Course, Chicken Guy Ravers. We've got Stefan there as well, he's been qualifying well so far. So hopefully we'll see a good racing between those three. We usually do if they're on the same sort of bit of track. And then two Ferraris next to each other, of course. I mean, it seems to happen every race. Blue flag, a bit disappointing down 11th. Torco is usually higher up than 12th, but he tends to like an early charge, we'll say, from the start. So we might see him go up a few positions, and we're just coming around now to the grid for the start of the race.
Very, very nicely done, mate. I like that consistency of Panda's formation lap. So we're just waiting for the drivers to take their spots. I'm going to put you boys on the spot now quickly. Give us your podium predictions before lights out.
I think the top two will stay as it is. Matt Course third.
Okay, Will?
I'm going to go Tim Tonnerre, Matt Course, and then Ravers going to come through the field.
Okay, nice. Right, well, we are 5 lights and away we go in Canada. Tim Tonnerre's had a massive slide off the start. Prototype Steph's had a blinder. He could be P1. He is. Prototype Steph has gone all the way through. He's run slightly wide. Was that Willie Tix? Sorry. Prototype, it's because they're in the McLaren. Willie Tix has had a blinding start on the Hypersofts. Not too much.
Sort of a bit carbon fibre.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
Might have been.
Matt Course down to 9th.
Yeah, Matt Core's not had a good start at all. Blue flag's up 4 places. Crest is up 3. The biggest loser in terms of positions is Chicken Guy, who's dropped down to P13, so that could be crucial. Preheated Oven on his return's gone up a couple of positions, but already looks fairly spread, other than his little battle.
Poor Ravens has stayed where he is. Everybody around him's gone up 4 or 5 places, and he's just stayed exactly where he were.
Yeah, exactly. Well, City Bosch and Hammer Time going side by side on the back straight. At the moment it is Willie Tix who's taken the lead on those hyper soft tyres. CJ's lost out 1 place. And there's a Red Bull of Blue Flag putting Cress under some serious pressure. Going into the Wall of Champions.
He's going to have a go around the outside.
Oh, there's a Sauber off in the background.
Chicken Guy.
Chicken Guy. Poor start for Chicken Guy. Wing damage and an early pit stop on lap 1. That's going to force him to a 2-stop.
Yeah.
Or the championship wide open again this.
And it certainly is. That's the thing. One bad result for any of the drivers at the top could see them slip out.
Yeah,
We saw that last week.
To really pounce on this race with Crest, Ravers, Matt Cause, now Chicken Guy, like all hanging around the edge of the points.
Yeah. Well, just on board with CJ, who's looking to put prototype Steph under some pressure. But Steph looks like he's got some good pace again tonight, so he could certainly be one to watch.
Yeah, it's a shame he got unlucky early in the season. We could have had a 6-way fight for the title.
Exactly. I'm actually going to tip Steph to win this race tonight. I've got a feeling.
Ooh.
I know, controversial. Blue flag
coming.
in the slipstream of Crest, looking towards the outside, and he backs off, just going into the final chicane. Crest gets a 3-second time penalty already. Agent Panda's unfortunately left the session. Chicken Guy's 27 seconds behind, so he's going to have some serious work to do. Ravers Revenge putting blue flag under some pressure. DRS has been enabled.
The supers aren't great at the start of the race and weren't really great throughout when we used them at Canada, so might be tricky for blue flag.
Exactly. Ravers Revenge really pushing hard, closing up to the back of blue flag, who's not the easiest person to pass at the best of times, and Ravers really needs to get this move done and push himself back up the points, but I think he might get this done possibly on the back straight. The key to a good result tonight is lack of penalties as well, I believe.
Yeah, we've got 2 or 3 drivers with already 1 penalty.
Ravers practically kissing the back of Blue Flag's car. Blue Flag does get a better exit than him, so I think he might hold position.
Depends how fast he's in a straight line.
He doesn't have DRS, so Ravers is going to take a look. Yeah, Ravers gets the move done. Crest gets his 2nd time penalty, and we're only on lap 4. I'm not too sure what he's doing, but Tim 12 and Willie Tix are battling going into turn 2. Tim Tonnerre's joined as well. What we don't want to see is a crash here. They're going to go side by side. Tim Tonnerre cuts the corner, 3-second penalty. Kisses the wall for his troubles as well.
I don't think that would have given him wing damage, but you never know.
With Willie Tix leading this race, I know he's on Hypersoft and he's on a different strategy, but what that is going to do is that's going to back up Tim 12 and Tim Tonnerre at the start of their race and on the freshest part of their ultra soft tyre, so I don't think it's going to be quite plain sailing for them. I think CJ just had a bit of a moment because he's now under some serious pressure. No assist user.
Good start to this race is Crest.
He certainly has. Crest is looking to pounce. Ravers has for past blue flag, as we saw, who has dropped off. Ravers is on the charge.
Look at the straight line speed here.
Yeah, Crest and CJ. Yeah, Crest backs off. CJ goes around there very, very nicely indeed. Doesn't crack under pressure and gets a good exit, but Crest might get him into turn 1 with an ambitious move. Are we going to see it? Plenty of respect from those two. Good driving.
Very good, that's what we like to see.
Ravers also sets the fastest lap of the race and puts himself right on the back of this battle as well, so he is not messing around.
Ooh, big slide from Crest coming out of that corner, but he's held it.
Yeah, we've got Matt Cause 2 seconds back to Ravers.
Yeah, I believe he's just overtaken blue flag.
Yeah, the 2 teams are very, very close. Pagani in the chat saying Crest appears to be taking the Rich T Gaming line of making his own one up.
What's happened to Willie Tix?
I don't know, Willie Tix, he must have had a moment. Oh, a little bit of wheel banging. And Tim 12 takes the lead. It could well be.
Well, Willie Tix might have saved our life. Tim Tonnerre's got way too much straight line speed.
Oh God, this is going to... Don't go 3 wide into there. Oh, Tim 12!
No.
Oh, Tim Tonnerre's gone. That is massive.
That could be bad.
That could be very, very bad indeed. I don't feel like... I mean, it's a tough place to go side by side, but it can be done. But what that has done now has given the guys above Tim Tonnerre in the championship a huge advantage now. They need to capitalise on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see who's at fault there. They both went in, they both held the line, but unfortunately it's just a very, very, very narrow bit of the track.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go side by side for there, you really have to lift off and just make sure both cars get through. You can't go through there sort of gung-ho and all guns blazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a note on the Hypersofts. I think they're falling off the cliff very quickly. See, Willie Tix now is nearly a second behind Team 12. TJ Payne's nearly 2 seconds off Steph.
Yeah, and Cress is closing in fast. Ravers could put Cress under some pressure here, depends on the straight line speed. Ravers in hot lap. No, he's gone down to medium. He knows he's not going to get that done here. Well, this is very, very tense indeed. A lot of things going on. Meanwhile, we've got a battle between Hammer Time and the preheated oven, and Tulko's joining the back of that little party as well. But I think all eyes on this battle for P4 at the moment.
Yeah, preheated oven just made a fairly straightforward move coming down the main straight there on Hammer Time, and it's now getting away.
Yeah, Matt Cause picks up his first time penalty of the evening, I believe. We know Cress has already got 6 seconds worth, so that could be crucial. And if he's got those in the first few laps, I don't imagine that's going to be the last we're going to see. Nice camera view of the back of Cress's car. Ray was closing in. Well, it's all to play for.
Early drama.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how long CJ's going to take them Hypersofts, but if he doesn't make some form of move soon, he could lose the opportunity of some good points here, because Cress is now on the back of him.
Willie Tix is in.
Yep, CJ's coming. Okay, so both the Hypersofts runners. I think this must be a 2-stop for them.
Yeah, I think Napoli did maybe 10 or 11 laps on the Hypers to do a 1-stop. So
yep. Tulko picks up his second time penalty of the evening, I believe. And Cress has moved up to 3rd, so he's up 6 positions. Ravers Avengers moved up 4, and he's on the back of Cress. But I think we're going to keep a very close eye on that battle. We've also got one forming between the other Ferrari of City Posh and the Div 2 admin of Blue Flag. Again, City Posh is another one who we kind of expected more from this season. There's no doubt he's a good driver, and he has got pace. Again,
yeah,
it's just...
I think I predicted Ferrari to win this Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, so did I. And I also predicted City Posh to get promoted, so it's shows how much we know, doesn't it?
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, Ferrari are on top of the Constructors at the minute.
Yeah. Okay, now
I'm right then, that's alright.
has Blue Flag. Blue Flag has just got DRS from Matt Cause, who is in P5, so it's not going too badly for him at the moment, but like I said, he has got a penalty. And Tulko, Hammer Time. Oh, that was close. Hammer Time did actually clip the wall of champions. I don't think he picked up any damage, but he forced Tulko to go across that final chicane. I think he just conceded the position back, but Tulko went extremely wide, and now there's been a massive collision going into turn 2. So Tulko completely overshot turn 1, went onto the grass, cut back in front of Hammer Times. He's coming around turn 2. So that's not the best of incidents. And now Willie Tix has now joined the party.
So have you got one driver from this season that surprised you in a good way then, Aaron and Joe?
Well, I actually said, obviously we did the admin predictions video at the start. I know you wasn't with us at that point, Joe, but they said one of the questions was, who do you think is going to be the surprise driver of Div 2? And I've said Chicken Guy. And to be honest with you, I'm going to stick with that. You know, I know he's quick, and I know he's got good pace about him, but just his overall consistency. I think he's got like 4 second places. He's well inside the promotion race, and you know he's been absolutely fantastic this season. And not just that, but he's been a pleasure around to have around as well. Obviously, with him being an admin now as well, and that doesn't influence my decision. I just want to make that very, very clear. But in terms of what he does for the league, his consistency, he turns up every week, and in 9 times out of 10 gets a good result. It's not a conspiracy. Don't start that. You get people talking. What about you, Will?
Probably Matt Coles for me. I know it's a bit of an obvious one because a lot of people have said that he's been very good this season, but the inconsistency to the consistency is just very, very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree. Goy Carp in the chat saying, "Come on, Ravers, you can bin it," and then he's corrected himself to do it. So, unfortunately, Goy phoned in sick with a verruca today, so he was unable to race.
It's a shame. What about you, then, Joe? Has anyone surprised you?
I mean, it's difficult for me because, you know, I'm seeing all of these drivers for the first time this season, so it's kind of hard to judge, you know, who has surprised people. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, yeah, it's difficult. It's hard
Who
to
have you been
pick
impressed
somebody.
with then?
I'd say Cress. Cress has been sort of there or thereabouts all season, and he's suddenly got himself, you know, up there. He's currently second in the championship. Yeah, I think he's done quite well this season.
Yeah,
I've always rated Chris.
Just want to give an honourable mention to Prototype Steph as well, because he only joined F1 League racing, I believe it was towards the end of F1 2017, I think. He wasn't particularly quickest then. I mean, he wasn't slow, don't get me wrong, he was not slow at all. But he wasn't the quickest, and then all of a sudden he's just come completely out of the blue. And he finds himself right behind Tim 12 in a championship, and but for those sort of early mistakes at the start of the season with his tyre temperatures and stuff, he would have been well inside this battle, and his second half of his season's been superb. Meanwhile, on track, Ravers Revenge has got past Chris.
It's an important move, that one.
Is indeed. Unfortunately, we didn't get it on the stream. I was watching the battle for P6 at the time. Willie Tix has got another penalty. We're seeing these penalties rack up very, very quickly tonight.
Yeah, it's his second, I believe.
Well, Tim 12 looks in control of this race, I must say.
Yeah, he certainly does on those ultras.
I don't want to tempt fate, but he does have a bit of a bottle in him, Tim 12. Unexpectedly, we saw that in Baku last time out.
I was just about to mention Tim 12 as well. With if he ends up getting the win today, he would go 10 points behind Tim Turner.
Wow, it's mad. Oh,
Matt Coles has been pushed by City, but he's gone.
Yeah, God, Matt Coles is going to be.
Championship is just insane.
Matt Coles is going to be absolutely raging.
Yeah, that looked like an honest mistake. I mean, obviously, he just shunted up the back, must have missed his breaking point, but it's very sad to see.
Yeah. We've had
two top five.
Very, very different comments in the stream. Pagani saying Steph has made great gains in this game. He's a good lad to talk to as well. And Goy Carper's coming with anal bleeding. What can you do? So, but yeah, that's a
to heal his roof is messing with his mind. I tell you.
Yeah.
Great content.
I'm just trying to see what. Just trying to think about that incident with City Posh and Matt Calls, because it did look like City Posh has outbroke himself. I don't believe that would be an intentional move. A bit of a silly one, I must say. But yeah, not the greatest of moments from City Posh, and that's put Matt Calls under a lot of pressure now, because he could have made some quite nice gains on Tim Tonnerre, who has retired from this race. But we've had 2 retirements so far, and they've been 2 of the drivers in the championship fight. So for Ravers, Crest and Chicken Guy, they're going to be licking their lips at the moment.
They are. Chicken Guy obviously not currently set to take any sort of advantage from that, but you never know.
Yeah, well, Prototype Steph has pitted So he's looking to get an undercut on Tim 12. He's come out just in front of CJ, so it's quite crucial in terms of his track position, I feel, because he's got 3 seconds to preheated oven up the road. He's got a bit of clear air to drive into and try and make that undercut work. One thing to point out though around Canada is when you come out the pits, the tyres are horrible to drive on for the first couple of laps.
Oh yes.
So
Yeah,
even if Steph doesn't actually get past Tim 12 in terms of an undercut, he will still have quite an advantage in terms of the fact that Tim 12's tyres. Yeah, I was just looking at that. In terms of Tim 12's tyre temperatures, and Tim's stayed out again, so he's leaving this quite late. But yeah, Ravers and Cress into the pits. Now where are they going to come out? They're going to be comfortable in their positions. Torco is only just coming into the final corner, so
Blue Flag is having a very good first stint.
He is. Ravers has pulled quite a gap on Cress. 3 seconds. Got a yellow and set to free. Chicken Guy's gone now.
No. Oh my god.
What is going on? Wall of Champions has claimed a 3rd victim. 3 of the drivers battling for promotion have all retired, so it may not be the end of the world. Yeah.
Three of the guys going for the championship have hit the wall of champions.
Yeah. So basically, Ravers and Cress, if they can just not retire tonight, I imagine they're going to finish. I think in terms of net position, I think they're on for a podium, both of them, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Cress was second.
Yeah, maybe.
Cress was 3rd, Ravers was 2nd, I think.
Yeah, so I think they're on for a podium. Tim 12 has come into the pits. So where is Prototype Steph? Prototype Steph is there. And yeah, Tim 12 has come out just in front of him, but that gap has come down by about 2.5 seconds to what it was. And Tim 12 has City Posh in front of him.
And cold tyres, of course.
And cold tyres. So let's watch that gap come down. CJ staying with Steph, actually. That's one thing to point out.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's a good first race for him, but we're only down to 12 runners.
Oh, will he take some blue flag? Blue flag's had to take evasive action now.
Yeah. Not good. But yeah, Prototype Steph gets past City Posh, and Tim 12 has actually done the same as well. So this is now an all-out war for position for what would be the race win as well.
I think one thing that is going to really mess Cress over is the fact he now has 9 seconds worth of time penalties.
Yeah. So at the moment, the best, well, in terms of the championship, it's playing into Ravers' hands very, very nicely indeed. But it's
Nearly within DRS's Tim 12. I mean, Steph. Nearly.
Yeah, the problem is though, Tim 12 is in DRS range of blue flag. So Steph's got to find a couple of attempts here, otherwise he could pull away a little bit. Tim 12 has considerably more battery than Steph. City Posh saying he lagged into Matt with an angry face. Yeah, like we said, we don't think it was an intentional issue. But yeah, Prototype Steph has done what he needed to do and got inside DRS range of Tim 12. So I think at the moment this really is a battle for the win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Tim 12 has got past Blue Flag. Blue Flag and Steph are very, very good friends. Now, will they realise that Steph is battling for a win here, and will he make it easy for him? Steph going up the inside of Steph. No, Blue Flag doesn't make it easy for him, so he needs to get past. He needs to do it quick.
Which
Steph.
is good because we want to see racing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not disputing that for a second, my friend.
Good exit.
Yep, does indeed. He's got DRS. Is he going to take a look at the inside? I think he's going to. Yep, blue flag doesn't put up too much of a fight, and Prototype Steph gets the move done, and he's only 2 seconds behind Tim 12, so he's got it all to do.
Blue flag's got his teammate right with backside now as well.
Yep, so I'll tell you what, CJ's having a cracking race. I know he's probably got a pit again.
Depends, I mean, you could try.
Yeah, I mean, he might do. But I just think to take those super soft tyres, what would it be, about 27 laps? 28 laps? Just seems like a bit too much for me.
Well, it's definitely too much for me.
Right, Raver's first time penalty of the evening. But like I said, he has got the advantage. And he's closing up to the back of preheated oven. Now, the 2 Red Bulls, 4th and 5th in the race. Who has still got to pit? Let's have a look. So it's only blue flag and preheated oven and Agent Panda. So only those guys left to pit.
Maybe the 2 stoppers, Woody Tix and Payne. You might have to do it again.
Yeah, I mean I meant from their first run.
Oh right, yeah, it's just those lot then.
Well, yeah, CJ's putting blue flag under pressure. We could see a move here. Oh, he's going up the inside. Nice little move. Tiny bit of contact, but I mean they were both had to turn in. Pagani saying Panda for points.
Once that Wall of Champions takes out Ravens and Crest, then yeah.
Well, the only thing that we need to look at now is the fact of Tim 12 is less than a second behind Willie Tix. Steph is 2.5 seconds back, but Tim's going to have to get past Willie Tix, so that might allow Steph to close up. Ravens Avengers got past the preheated oven, and his next on his agenda is blue flag, who's going to have to pit soon. I think Ravens is on for a net P3 in all of this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, Tim 12 about to put Willie Tix under pressure. Steph has dropped back by another couple of attempts, so Tim 12 doing what he needs to do. Big lock up. Torco, I think that's his 6th penalty. We may well see a disqualification here this evening.
Oh god.
God, this is going to be close. Is any one of these going to back out? I don't think they are. Willie Tix is going to fight back.
That was hard to watch.
That was.
Great job from Team 12 there in the end.
Yep, got it done. Yep, blue flag has pitted, so he's gone on to the ultra softs to the end. Now, will he come out? Yeah, he's going to be passed by City Posh, who's going to come out in P9. Agent Pan has pitted as well. So I think the only people left to pit will be Willie Tix and CJ. I can't imagine they're going to take those another 14 laps. If they do, then fair play.
Preheated ovens in 20. That's currently the longest stint we've seen on the Supers.
Yeah, well, at the moment, Tim 12 is in control of this race, but he needs to keep a very watchful eye on Prototype Steph, who does have the pace in his locker. And Steph will get DRS off of Willie Tix, who is his teammate. He should have had DRS off of Willie Tix because he's in DRS range, but maybe he has an issue. Willie Tix gets another time penalty. I don't think I've seen CJ get a penalty yet. Don't want to tempt fate, but
yeah, I don't think he has to, again.
Yeah, Raver's keeping Cress at bay. Preheated oven comes into the pits. Yeah, it's quite an intriguing one, this. The 2 McLarens getting close.
So if preheated oven has done 20 laps on those, I mean, he has to pit because you have to run 2 tyres, but if 20 laps was his limit, should see Willie Tix and CJ pitting within 6 or 7 laps.
Yeah, maybe they're going to go into the hypers at the end. Right, well, interestingly, Willy Tix just let Prototype Steph through. So, in terms of team orders, fair play. Now, I imagine we're going to see a very fastly approaching blue flag come up towards the back of City Posh in the coming laps. And we're going to see an admin on the charge, I feel.
It's a shame we haven't got Hammer Time and Blue Flag next to each other. They have brilliant battles when they are.
Yeah. Must be said as well, Preheated Oven not raced for maybe 5-6 weeks now. And he's currently in P9. And he's got 10 seconds to Hammer Time, who's on 10 lap old ultra soft tyres. Blue Flag goes quickest. Brings that time down by over a second to when we last checked in, so he is very much on the charge.
Yeah, that's your charging admin.
That is my charging admin.
It's quite an affectionate name, really.
Yeah. Well, at this stage, not too much more going on. I think we just need to keep an eye on the penalties and see what happens. At the moment, as it stands, Crest would drop down to P8 in terms of penalties, because we know he's got, what's he got, 9 seconds at the moment?
Yes, 9 I believe.
So, and there's still another 12 laps to go of this race. Willy Tix has jumped into the pits, as has CJ. So Ravers is going to be promoted up to P3 as he comes around to begin lap 24 of the Grand Prix. Willy Tix and CJ both got onto the ultra soft tyre. They're going to be close going towards the end. Now, where is Blue Flag? Is he going to get the jump on these guys? He's going to get the jump on CJ, and he's going to be pretty close to Willy Tix.
Yeah, the number 2 stopped pretty well there to be 6th and 8th after the stops.
Yeah, well, I think Hammer Time's going to have to pit again. He's done 11 laps on ultra soft, so I can't imagine he's going to take them another 11 laps. So yeah, a lot going on. Willy Tix could be on for a good result, but he does have a few penalties. He just needs to be patient.
I'm interested to see how Payne finds a way past Hammer Time. I mean, not Hammer Time, Blue Flag.
We have a yellow in Sector 3. What was that? Oh, it might have been Agent Panda.
Don't know.
Not too sure. Right, Cress is closing up to the back of Ravers now.
It might have been Ravers, actually. Only 1.3 seconds behind now. It was about 2 or 3 seconds. I don't know.
It doesn't look like there's any damage or anything, so I'm not too sure it was. I think Cress is just responding to what's going on, but we have a nice little battle forming for P5 between Willy Tix, City Posh, Blue Flag and CJ. Just looking at it now, at the moment, obviously disregarding other people's penalties, Cress would drop down to P8 from P4.
Yeah, we've got 6 seconds for Willy Tix, and I think I've seen 3 seconds for City Posh. I haven't seen Payne or Blue Flag.
Yep. Prototype Seth picks up a penalty. I don't think Tim 12 has any.
No, he's driving very well so far. He's Tim 12.
Matt Cause, did City Posh hit me or not? It looked like he did, but it could well have been a lag incident. We'll have to see afterwards, Matt. It's a shame to see you retire, mate, but just keep your head. You've had 2 other guys around you have retired as well, so a lot worse things could have happened this evening. As we see the 2 Red Bulls.
It's a great battle between the 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah, it's good.
It's amazing.
Very, very tasty. CJ's got his work cut out to get past Blue Flag, who's a very, very good defensive driver. Needs to give him the room. This could be nice. This could be nice. No, he backs off. Sensible. Here we go. Ricardo and Verstappen. No, don't do it here. A little bit of a knock, but I mean they're going side by side through there. Is blue flag going to take a dive? Yeah, blue flag goes for it. CJ around the outside, and I think blue flag's going to have DRS as well here. Talco's gone.
No, he doesn't. BSC.
Virtual safety car.
I was going to say none of them are using DRS, which was a little bit confusing. That's sort of virtual safety car.
Yeah, right, well, looking at
that nice battle.
CJ's only got 14% battery at the moment.
It's a pretty good time for him to charge it.
It's a good time to regain some battery, all of this. But as soon as we go green again, I think this battle between the Red Bulls is going to resume.
Some really good wheels we were racing there. It's good to see a new driver get right in it.
Yeah, it is. Especially battling somebody with the defensive ability of blue flag, because he will not make it easy for him, and he's a very, very smart defensive driver. Cress is caught up to the back of Ravers after all of that, and now Willy Tix is in the battle as well, so on fresh tyres. So this podium is certainly not decided.
Yeah, he's going to be fast as Willy Tix.
City Posh isn't too far behind either, and he's going to get DRS off the back of Panda, so he could close in a little bit more as well.
Well, another 3 seconds for Cress.
Another for Cress, that's 12 seconds.
Here we go again. CJ Payne.
The two Red Bulls, look at this battle. Nice
Good
move.
move from CJ.
Gets it
Great
done.
move.
Brilliant. Brilliant effort. Good to see. Matt Cause, you could hear in my POV that he hit me.
Oh, what's a dive? Willy Tix.
Oh, God. Just needs to be more careful. Just needs to be more patient and more careful. I know the idea of a podium is very, very exciting, but just need to calm down. What we don't want to see is contact between any more of those front runners of this championship, because effectively that just means nothing for the championship, doesn't it? So look how quickly CJ's caught up to City Posh as well.
He's very... I mean, City Posh will get DRS off Panda, I believe. So this might be a bit harder than usual. Oh God.
Agent Panda needs to back off, which he does. Blue flag picks up a 3-second penalty. CJ massively on the charge.
He's got no penalties either, I believe.
Needs to save some battery. Whilst he's going through these slower parts of the circuit, he needs to just pop that down.
Tell you what though, looking at the time, CJ could be on for a podium here. A lot of the guys ahead of him have got a 3-second time penalty or more, and he's only, what, 4 seconds behind Ravers?
Yeah. Well, we know Willy Tix has got about 9 seconds, I want to say. Ravers only has 3.
Coming close.
This is fascinating. CJ.
It's a shame that time penalties are going to have a huge impact.
Yeah. CJ DRS on City Posh. Is it going to be enough? Oh, he's going to have a look, is he? No, he's not. He backs out. It's very, very sensible. Good driver, this guy. Oh, look how close he is to City Posh. This has got to be a move, surely. Locks up into turn 1. Yep, gets it done. Up into P6.
Yeah, he's winning some fans today. Is CJ in his first race?
He is. Good driving. Ravers just needs to stay within touching distance of Willy Tix. I know he's on fresh ultra softs, but I mean they're 6 laps old now, so they're going to start wearing off in a couple of laps. 5 laps to go.
Willy Tix has got 3 seconds more than Ravers.
Oh, Cress, another one.
Cress has got 15 seconds of penalties.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's not been the best of evenings for Cress.
At what point do you get disqualified?
I really don't know. But one more retirement will see Agent Panda back-to-back points.
The scenes in that Mercedes garage, if he does.
I know. Very exciting. Well, CJ is only 4 seconds behind Ravers, like you said. And I don't believe he's got a penalty. Ravers has 1.
He'll get Woody 6 as it sounds on penalties and Cress, so he needs to close up about a second on the Ravers and then he'll get 3rd.
I mean, a podium on your debut, what a story that'd be.
On a 2-stop as well.
On a 2-stop, yeah. Well, I must say, although he's not had much of a mention, Tim 12 deserves some credit in this race. Bouncing back after that disappointment in Baku last week.
That's when you know your leader's done well, when we don't need to mention him.
Yeah, exactly that. Just got to keep an eye on that time between CJ and Cress.
Oh God!
Ravers has gone.
Woody 6 lost it through the final chicane and then Ravers plowed straight into him.
No way!
Yeah.
What is happening?
This is insane. This is insane.
Oh look, Prototype Seth, drive-through penalty, speeding under virtual safety car.
Oh my God.
What is going on?
That's going to put City Posh and CJ 2nd and 3rd after Cress's penalties. How is that not an actual safety car? Like, how is that only a VSC?
There's 2 of them. How quick do they think these marshals work?
And what that does mean is it means another 2 points for Agent Panda.
That was so unlucky for Ravers. So unlucky.
Ridiculously unlucky for him. I mean, like I said, these guys can take some form of comfort in the fact that it's been Ravers, Chicken Guy, Matt Cause and Tim Tonnerre that have retired from this race, so it's not like they're going to lose out massively. It's going to stay pretty much as it is.
I think Cress is extremely lucky that an actual safety car has not come out, because the amount of penalties he's got could have been right at the back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Willie Tix is saying he brushed the wall and it just stopped. He said it glitched and he's got it recorded.
I mean, it wouldn't be a penalty for him anyway. Ravers just got really, really unlucky. And that is very, very unfortunate.
I was on board with Ravers and I just saw this wheel just fall off on the other side of his car. But yeah, no, that really opens up this race, doesn't it? Well, Quest currently sitting in P3, but he's going to drop down to at least P6.
I mean, how did Steph get a time penalty from speeding into the VSC when the VSC was still up?
Because he probably didn't slow down enough. There's a countdown timer, isn't there? And if you don't slow down within that time frame, I mean, he might well appeal it. It might be a game issue possibly, but he's going to have to serve this drive-through. Otherwise, he'll get disqualified, won't he?
He will within 3 laps.
Well, exactly. There's only 1 lap left after this. City Posh, another time penalty. CJ.
CJ's he's on for 2nd.
Yeah, he certainly is. City Posh having a look at him. CJ just needs to hold this now. Yeah, City Posh has had a moment as well, but blue flag is going to be closing up to the back of the Ferrari. Blue flag could end up P4 here. I know he's got 1 penalty. I know City Posh has got at least 3, I believe.
Yeah, I've got no idea what's going to happen on penalty here. This is mental.
I think just by maths, Tim 12, prototype Steph, or then again he's got his drive through as well, hasn't he? He's going to have to take that now, otherwise he's going to get disqualified. Yeah, there he goes. He comes in and takes his drive through. What is going on indeed? Now where is Chris?
Tell you what, all of this is going to bring Tim 12 into promotion as well. He's going to be like 10 points off Tim Tenaire, with only Chris possibly scoring points. It's going to be like 30 points split in the top 6.
Yeah, prototype Steph is coming out the pits and he's going to rejoin in P4. Yeah, P4. I mean, it doesn't do too much in terms of the final finishing result, because Chris, like I said, he's got what, 12 seconds or 15 seconds worth of penalties. I know Steph's only got 3 seconds.
15 seconds.
If anything, it's only going to have lost him 1 position to CJ. Which I know it's still 1 position. Oh yeah, very, very infuriating. But only 9 runners left in Canada. It's a surprise. Pagani saying Agent Panda will be outscoring Goy Karp going into the last 2 rounds of the championship, but the back of the grid is hotting up. Okay, and Tim 12 crosses the line to take the race win. CJ got DRS, has only got 6% battery though. I don't think he's going to do much with that.
Chris has got time penalty anyway though, so he's going to finish.
Yeah, Chris has got plenty of penalties. CJ going up towards the line.
God.
Is he going to take it? Oh, there we go. CJ second, prototype Steph third, Chris fourth, fifth, sixth. There we go.
Blue flag's got fourth.
Blue flag's got fourth. What a crazy race that was.
That was insane.
Yeah. I mean, there was battles to watch the whole way through that. Must say.
Debut from CJ.
Yeah. Preheated oven comes home in 7th after like 6 weeks out after a knee operation, and comes home in P7. He's got to be pretty happy with that. Hammer Time's going to come home 8th if he's the last person to finish, and Agent Panda gets his 2nd lot of points in 2 weeks. And unfortunately, retirements from Ravers, from Willie Tix, Talco, Chicken Guy, Matt Cause and Tim. If you'd have told me that before this race started, I would not have believed you.
Who would have predicted that?
I don't quite know what to say.
No. You literally just can't write it, and that's the reason why Division 2 has been so exciting.
Well, let's get him in.
Yeah.
Genuinely can't believe what I've just watched.
Yep, there seems to be a bit of desync in there, maybe. With a couple of those.
CJ's got to be delighted with that.
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah, certainly would. Right, so yeah, we've had the final order. Every single driver on the grid got a penalty, other than Chicken Guy, who obviously retired early. Yeah, crazy race in Canada, and that's the reason why this has been so exciting this season. But we'll just get in Tim 12, CJ hopefully, and prototype Steph for the podium interviews. So we'll be with you in just a second. Yeah, massively. Well, fingers crossed CJ will join us for the podium interview. I'm not too sure whether he knows that we do those. I've just messaged him.
Bum 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 bum.
Hello, mate.
Grazie ragazzi.
Right, we'll just take a couple of seconds as our newest driver CJ, he's got onto the podium, but I'm not too sure whether he's available to do the podium interview. So just take a couple of seconds, boys, to chill. I think anyway we're probably going to get Blue Flag in here just to ask him a few questions. Yeah, he's going to come in as well. Yeah, CJ's on his way, and we'll get blue flag in here as well.
Hey.
Hello, mate. Not bad. I don't know, mate. I know. Right, can you just do us a quick favour, mate, and just double check you're allowing your voice to be shared? Do you know how to do that? If you just go into party settings, and then it should go into party settings, allow your voice to be shared, and just click on always allow.
Oh yeah.
And then
Done it. Yeah.
Lovely. Right, so we'll go to the race leader first, or the race winner, should I say, Tim 12. Mate, fantastic drive from you. I think you was one of a small handful of drivers to keep yourself out of trouble tonight. At what point did you feel like that race was won, first of all?
Pretty late actually. When Steph got the, I heard from Tim that Steph got the 3-second penalty as well, and he was like 4.5 seconds behind. So then I knew it was pretty much over.
Yeah, but I mean, it was.
He got the drive through, so.
Yeah, an insanely close qualifying between you and Tim. Have you been practicing together, or was it just that's how close you were naturally?
I probably did the least amount of practice for this race out of any race this season.
Well,
practice doesn't always help.
No, exactly. Well, given what happened to you in Baku last week, obviously possibly one of your worst evenings. I know you won't mind me saying that. How nice was it to come back with a result like that? Did you feel like you could do it, or was that in the back of your mind after last week?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous. I knew to perform if I wanted to keep the chance for the promotion. So.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless, mate, with all of the retirements that happened in front of you tonight, which I mean was unbelievable. You couldn't see that coming at any point. 4 out of the top 5 drivers in the championship all retired this evening. So, and with that now, I think that only puts you about 10 points behind Tim Tonnerre. So, I mean, for what's been not the best season for you overall, you're now in touching distance of promotion. So that wasn't expected, was it?
No, I didn't expect that. I thought in Baku I could make some points because there would be a lot of crashes, but it actually is here in Canada.
Exactly, mate. It's mental. So, I mean, does that change your approach to the end of the season now? Obviously, Italy and then France for the last race of the season. How does that affect your kind of mind going into the last couple of races? Are you going to try and get promotion, or are you just going to try and take it race by race for the last two?
I'm just going to try hard to do a lot of practice.
Well,
yeah, just all guns blazing now.
Exactly. Well, best of luck, mate. And listen, well done tonight. That was a fantastic drive, and like I said, you kept yourself out of trouble, and that's what won you the race. So, massive well done.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Cool. Right, Panda, do you want to have a little chat with CJ, our newest driver?
Yeah, so obviously, debut today. I mean, could it really, apart from winning, go much better than that? You must be happy with it.
Oh, I'm certainly happy with it, yeah. I suppose I didn't really know what to expect. I haven't really done a lot of 50% races or this type of sort of realism in terms of obviously all the pit stops and getting it right and all that sort of thing. But in the end, it sort of came good for me, to be honest.
Yeah, massively. I mean, we watched quite a lot of your battles. I think probably the most notable one out of that was you and Blue Flag. Did you enjoy that particular one?
Oh, definitely. It was difficult getting by. I didn't think I'd do it. But I think I made a mistake early in qualifying. To be honest, I heard everyone sort of speaking about how they should have started on the other tyre, probably the ultra softs. But I tried to beat my time that I set on the hyper softs, but I couldn't do it by about a tenth. So it all sort of started then. I knew I was on the wrong strategy, but I just sort of had to go with what I had really. It came good in the end. Like I say, I felt like I had a good tyre towards the end, and I could push. I can't think who I was racing. Was it the Panda as well? Was it I was racing with?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I'm not too sure. I came past
people.
FTRL went past Blue Flag, and then I think I can't remember who I came up against next, but he was coming back at me even towards the end of the race. I found it really
that was
hard to stay
City
with it.
Posh. That was City Posh Blue.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
that was very difficult. I thought he had it won, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously did really well. I mean, sometimes being on the alternate strategy can work out, and it seems like it sorted at this point. So were you sort of thinking, because I think you were really one of the lowest penalties in terms of most of the group, but is that something you were thinking about going around, or did it just sort of happen?
Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of ranked races online, and I try to minimise penalties where I can. I know where you sort of try and push and try and get a bit more. If I know I'm going to do it, I'll try and back out of it as much as I can, really. But I thought, to be honest, I didn't think anyone else would have any penalties. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't think it was a common thing, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's been pretty impressed with your debut, so best luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Look forward to it.
if I can just add to that, mate, I think you've gained a few supporters tonight in the stream chat. We've had a few comments about you, and a lot of the boys saying well done to you in that race. Was that your first ever league race, or have you taken part in leagues before?
No, that's the first one for me. I haven't taken a part in. I tried one league in 2017, but like I say, it didn't really work out for me. But like I say, thanks for the invitation. I don't think I would have been there otherwise. I've looked for things in the past, but I just never came across it. But luckily, like I say, I met a few people racing on ranked lines, and luckily they said join in, sort of thing. So
yeah,
it's been good.
Well, like I said, mate, I mean, considering that's your first ever league race, and to be battling with some of the people that you was battling with, I think that can't go unnoticed at all, mate. So I hope you enjoyed it. And
yeah, very much so.
I mean, I will say that to have that many retirements and penalties isn't that common, so it probably won't happen again anytime soon. But even so, mate, it certainly puts you in good stead going to the last couple of races. So have you got like an aim for the final couple, or are you just going to try and bed yourself in? What's your thoughts on it all?
To be honest, I'm not too sure what's the next upcoming tracks.
Italy and France are the last two.
Italy and France. Oh, okay. Well, I fancy my chances in Italy because I've been practicing a lot there, but France I think it's probably new for everyone, so it's a bit unexpected what's going to happen, sort of thing. So hopefully I could just sort of aim for the top 5 is my aim, really, if I can. Yeah. Let's go from there, really.
Yeah, well, nevertheless, mate, well done on a fantastic debut, and excited to see what you do next week.
Thank you.
No problem at all, mate. Right, Joe, do you want to move on to Steph?
Yeah, can do. Right, well, congrats on your P3. Started P6 after quali. Everybody around you sort of had a bunch of time penalties, so you managed to jump onto the podium. I mean, how was that race overall for you?
Well, firstly, congratulations to Tim and CJ. Good effort from them too. But for myself, yeah, to be honest, I wasn't actually on it tonight. I think it was fortunate that the others crashed out. That I've actually got P3, to be honest with you. Because I don't know if you see, but I completely lost concentration through some of that, and that VSC thing was just ridiculous. I don't know, I got caught out by that, so I basically threw away P2. But yeah, no, I'm happy with P3, definitely.
Nice. I mean, that's the main thing, obviously, in racing. You know, just staying out of trouble. I think you did well to do that. Obviously, coming through the grid at some points. I mean, with the third place now, you go to 76 points. I know promotion is probably sort of a distant sort of thing for you at the moment, but you're within touching distance. 30, I think it's 32 points now off Matt Cause, who's in 4th. It's very, very close between the top. Are you thinking about that at all? I mean, with 2 races left.
No, I'll be honest. I was never thinking about it from the first half of the season. I was struggling and stuff, but I'm just trying to find my place now, really, and just look forward to next season, really. Just try and put in a few on, and then look on to the new season, really.
Do you think you could get tickets for you, or?
Not really, no. I haven't actually raced around Italy yet, and France isn't too strong neither, to be fair. But I'll give it a go, obviously. But I'm looking forward to next season now.
All right, well, congrats on the P3 anyway for you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, just one little thing, Steph. From the Mexico race, so from Singapore onwards, you are the highest point scorer in the whole division. After working it out, so the second half of the, I mean, it's literally by a couple of points, but you're the highest point scorer for the second half of the season. So, just quickly following up on what you said about looking forward to next season, with finding your feet now and finding this sort of pace towards the end of the season, is that going to be on your mind into the new season? You're going to go into it with confidence, do you think?
Well, after you've just told me that stat, yeah, I'll definitely. It gives me a lot more confidence, to be honest with you. Yeah, definitely.
I love a stat, mate. Love a stat.
Yeah, so do I.
It's a good stat.
Keep them ones coming.
Yeah. as long as they're about you, mate. Hey, but no, listen. Obviously, unfortunate tonight with the drive through and everything else, but to still get a podium after all of that, mate, that's a fantastic result. So well done.
Thanks a lot, appreciate it.
Lovely. Right, well, we're just going to... we brought in Blue Flag as well. So, obviously, the Division 2 admin, come P4 in the race. How was that one for you, first of all, pal?
Yeah, a lot of fun, as it turned out. Wasn't expecting too much, but yeah, P4, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you started
nice battles.
Yeah, P11 you started, didn't you? Was it P11?
Yeah, which I was quite chuffed about, actually, because when I went out on my ultra soft lap, I invalidated, so I was stuck on the hyper.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be on the hyper, so luckily Matt Cause improved his lap time and pushed me out of the top 10.
Yeah, well, I think to come back through the field, I said to gain 7 positions. I know there was a few incidents in front of you, mate, but you kept your composure. Just want to quickly touch on your new teammate, to be honest with you. I know CJ's in here with us, but it looked like a fantastic battle, and we were saying on the stream that if he's going to come up against anybody in terms of trying to overtake around a tight circuit, the toughest test on probably the grid's going to be you. So how was that battle for you?
Well, first of all, I'm flattered.
Don't get used to it.
No, I know you by now. Yeah, no, like I said, it was a lot of fun. He's clearly got a bit of pace about him. You know, I could see him coming up behind me. I thought, right, you know, this is going to be fun. His tyres are a little bit fresher. But yeah, no, it was clean, respectful. There was a little bit of wheel banging, but like you say, it's a tight circuit. It's going to happen from corner to corner.
Yeah, of course.
No, on the whole, a lot of fun, and yeah, I've got a challenge to just stay as lead driver, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know obviously you had FTRL Daddy at the start of the season as your teammate, and I know he lost out a little while ago. But obviously coming in with CJ after that one particular race, it's like you said, a battle to the end of the season for sort of bragging rights, if you like, at the end of the season. So yeah, wish you best of luck. But no, the reason I got you in here is I just wanted to sort of ask you. I know we're 10 races into the season now. Obviously, only 2 races left. Promotion still widely open. If anything, it's got even more tense now going to the last couple. Just a few words from you about the season as a whole, really.
Well, I think the table sort of speaks volumes for how the division's been this season, with, you know, the guys at the top all being quite close together, and now it's more of a top 6 battle with the issues tonight and Tim clawing himself to within 10 of Tim Tonnerre.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's been a cracking season, and you know, 2 to go. I think it's going to go right to the wire in France.
Exactly, mate. Well, you and Hammer Time have done an amazing job this season, so thank you to all your efforts for that. And yeah, I think that concludes us tonight. Have any final words from you or from Will or Joe? Anything from you guys?
Tim, how do you say Tim Tonnerre's name?
Tim Tonnerre.
Oh, right, so we've been saying it wrong the whole season. That's good. Oh, we'll stick with Tim Tonnerre. We'll maybe change it for next season.
Yeah. Maybe we should change our names.
Yeah. Just keep it something. Go like Tim Smith, something like that. It's just something easy that we can all say. We're all Cockney in here, so come on.
Think about something fun.
Anyway, listen, boys, massive congratulations and well done, especially to you, CJ, tonight. For me personally, sorry to say this, Tim, but CJ, you were definitely my driver of the day today. Come out of nowhere, mate. So well done.
I agree.
Right, we've got the final round of the Performance Championship tomorrow night, which will be at France, I believe. And then next week we've got the final race of the Division 1 season, which is also in France. Dutch Tricks has already secured that, but nevertheless it still should be a cracker. And next week we will be joining the Division 2 guys in Italy for the penultimate race of the season, where, I don't know, I mean, anything can happen. A championship could potentially be all but secure. there could be a lot of things go on next week, so you don't want to miss that one. So thank you all very much for joining us tonight. Well done to the podium sitters. Thank you to Will and to Joe, and we will see you on Monday for Division 1, the finale.